my previous video above, I discussed how we can withdraw the excess of Basic Retirement Sum (BRS) from our retirement account (RA) at 55 if we wish to. Feel free to watch the video above before returning to this video. In my channel, I have shared many topics on CPF with the aim to simplify CPF concepts and policies. Do visit my channel if you like to learn how to grow your wealth using CPF. Remember to like and subscribe if you find my content useful. The most straightforward case is when the amount of CPF OA we have used for our property plus accrued interest is sufficient to replenish our RA to the full retirement sum FRS after withdrawal from retirement account. This is due to the fact that when we use our ordinary account to pay for our property, we have to return the amount used plus accrued interest back to our OA if we sell or transfer our property in the future. In the scenario where the amount is not sufficient to make out our RA to FRS, we can choose to pledge our property in order to withdraw from our RA. This will be the focus of this video. The two key requirements to be eligible for property pledge is 1. The property you own, which can be HDB or private property, must be in Singapore. 2. The remaining lease on your property must last you up to at least age 95. I will illustrate with a few scenarios to show how we can calculate the amount eligible for property pledge, as it depends on a few conditions such as outstanding loan, residue value, and CPF usage by the owners of the property. Let's use the example of Ken and Jane, who jointly own a HDB which is valued at 300k with an outstanding loan of 100k. Ken and Jane each owns 50% share in the property. For all the scenario to be discussed, let's assume Ken has not used any CPF savings to pay for the property, and we'll look at the different scenarios to determine the property pledge amount which Ken is eligible for. In the first scenario, with a property valuation of 300k and an outstanding loan of 100k, the residual value of the property is 200k, which is 300k minus 100k. Jane has used 40k from her CPF for the property. As this is less than 50% of the residual value of 200k, Ken's share of the property's residual value is 100k. For the second scenario, with the same outstanding loan of 100k and residual value of 200k, if Jane used 110k from her CPF for the property, which is more than 50% of the residual value, Ken's share of the property's residual value will be 200k minus 110k, which is 90k. If Jane did not use her CPF for the property and has 50% share of the property, Ken's share of the residual value would be 50% of 200k, which is 100k. For each of the cases above, Ken's share of the property's residual value will be the amount which he is eligible for property pledge. If Ken pledges the property to withdraw monies from RA, a charge will be created on their property so as to restore his full retirement sum should Ken and Jane sell or transfer the property subsequently. Pledging your property is not as scary as it sounds, as it does not change your property ownership in any way. It's just an assurance you are giving to CPF that you will refund the pledged amount to your own CPF account if you sell or transfer your property. However, do be mindful that when we withdraw monies from our retirement account, less will be set aside for a CPF Life Plan, which translates to a lower lifelong monthly payout from age 65. Hope you find this video useful. Remember to like and subscribe to receive future notifications. Thanks for watching.